This week, the Supreme Court stepped into the opioid crisis, putting the brakes on a potential $6 billion settlement between Purdue Pharma, maker of Oxycontin, and a group of state and local governments. It is the latest chapter in a long story that the Sackler family, which owns Purdue Pharma, was hoping was just about over.
I was a reporter at the New York Times, and we got a tip that there was this brand new painkiller, a drug called Oxycontin, and it was pouring onto the streets of all these small towns throughout Appalachia, in Maine, Florida.
Barry Meyer first sounded the alarm more than 20 years ago, despite many saying everything was just fine.
There was this wave of belief that, drugs like this could work. These kinds of drugs were going to cure pain. They were going to make this huge advancement in medicine. And besides that, the opioid industry, and Purdue in particular, had, co-opted everybody that was supposed to protect our health.
Today, Oxycontin and the Sackler family are household names. Even more so with the release of the Hulu series Dopesick, and this week Netflix's long-awaited Painkiller, based on Meyer's book, which strangely went out of print the year it was released. The money they poured into this place is pretty incredible.
It's extraordinary. I mean, they built an entire wing of this museum.
We met Meyer outside the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, where the Sackler name is now nowhere to be found.
Their name goes from being associated with being benefactors of institutions to becoming pariahs.
As the nation has moved to a new phase in the opioid epidemic, fentanyl, Oxy remains an issue, with plenty of blame to go around. Is there an argument to be made that the responsibility is more than just the Sackler family and Purdue Pharma?
Oh, absolutely.
Doctors were involved, patients were taking it. To make them the only bad guys seems, I don't want to say they're not bad guys, but seems unfair.
Well, I've never felt that they were. I felt that, I've written that this episode has been a remarkable failing by regulators, by lawmakers, by doctors. There wasn't any part of the system that put on the brakes and said, stop.
The settlement would have shielded the Sackler family from all future civil litigation. That is now on hold. In response, Purdue told us they are confident in the legality of the plan. They say the DOJ is only delaying money going to victims. In previous statements, the Sackler family owners said they sincerely regret that Oxycontin unexpectedly became part of an opioid crisis. Join us next week for more on all of this, including a profile of filmmaker Peter Berg, the director of Painkiller.